We come to you this Black History Month, bringing together 6 of our esteemed financial advisors to showcase their perspectives on being a financial advisor, being independent, being a business owner, and being a part of the Black community in this industry. We'll share stories, experiences, insights, and go around the table to highlight this community of advisors. Our advisors come from all walks of life, different career journeys, and they are all building their businesses in different ways. We'll cover how they came to be financial advisors, what unique challenges they face as Black advisors, why they chose the independent advisor path, and how we as an industry can better support the Black community. So we touched on challenges, we touched on mentorship. Let's talk more about solutions. So back to a few more stats. Cerulli released a recent diversity report that indicates that Black advisors represent just 3% or just shy of 3% of the overall advisor population. I know previously we mentioned the CFP population, but just 3% of the overall advisor population versus 13.4% of the overall US population. How do we make a material impact in increasing that number of financial advisors?
So this is actually interesting because I have the hardest time when I think about bringing with the tailwinds that we've been discussing Black folks into this industry. And that's not to say that I don't want to and I'm not open to it and I wouldn't love it. But until things change, I feel like at times I am setting you up for failure. Because if I don't know that you can code switch like I can, or my business partner, or you can to really be successful dealing with, the wealth in the top 1%, it feels like it's all just in theory until the systems are in place to make it successful. And I'm like, yeah, you can battle and you can have these sleepless nights and you can deal with this anxiety and you can figure out how to deal with rejection and you can do this for 5 years. And if you get to the 6th year, then maybe it's gravy, but the numbers are so stacked against you. I'm not confident in my ability in taking all of this upon my shoulders that I feel like when I do that, I'm putting your career in my hands. And that's a steep burden. I think so I have a hard time with it of like, yeah, I mean, it's a great career for those that can do it, but a lot of people, the overwhelming majority don't have the skill set or want to push back too much, and that's a struggle.
I think and it's crazy just to hear you say that Wesley is part of the problem, right? The fact that you feel that way, that you can't into the industry like that. This is the entire reason why we're all here and we're somewhat having this conversation, because no one else, at least no other race probably feels that way, right? It's like, I'm going to bring you in.
They don't have to.
There's no hesitation, right? It's just like, come on in, let me introduce you to so-and-so and get you hooked up and you go from there. But the fact that we have that knee-jerk reaction is the issue. And I think that it's a lot about recruiting, but it's also about, retention. What are we doing about the advisors that are already here? How are we helping them to feel supported, to feel seen, to feel heard? And kind of almost, bringing them more to the forefront so that people that know, that want to get into this industry know that, hey, this person is actually finding success, and not also are they finding success, but they're happy. A lot of us are in this industry and we might be successful, but there were times where we just weren't happy because of all the other things that we unfortunately have had to deal with just to kind of get to this point of having these open dialogues. And it's really important that, firms themselves kind of just take a look in the mirror, so to speak. And what are you doing for the individuals who are already across the room from you? Are they even in the room? Are they a part of the conversations, and how are you pulling them in to be a part of the conversation and really sort of speak their truth in a comfortable manner where there's change happening, so that they do feel more comfortable to bring other people in? Because to Wesley's point, that is a heavy burden to say like, hey, I want to pull you into this industry, but you know what, I really want you to come in the right way. And I don't want you to come in and then have a horrible experience and then leave and never want to come back in here again. Because that's the problem too, is like we come in, we have a bad experience, and then we run away and we're like, I'm never doing this again. Or maybe there's an outlier who says, maybe I'll just try somewhere else, but that somewhere else doesn't always happen. So a lot of it is just kind of looking back in internally and seeing how, what we can do now.
Although, I think though, our responsibility is we have to give of ourselves, and we have to be the mentors. We have to try and bring some of the other people that may be considering the industry along. So I think that we have to make sure that we're reaching back and pulling people forward. And that's just very, very important.
I believe that there has to be a massive outreach goal where if the firms and also the Black financial advisors are not getting out there and proactively seeking to bring Black Americans into the industry, it's not going to happen. So I think there's a responsibility at the institutional level for the firms to do some outreach, some diversity and inclusion outreach, some kind of hiring, and just doing a lot of recruiting. But then also too, as financial advisors, we have to do some outreach. If we know someone at our church, in our social circle, in any kind of club that we attend, who we think may be a good fit for the industry, we have to introduce the industry to them, because not everyone knows to inquire about this industry. I think that it then becomes more mentally attainable, more of a realistic goal, and something that they feel is within their reach. Because right now, a lot of us feel like, oh, a financial advisor, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know a lot about math. I'm not good at math. I'm not good at numbers. And when I tell people that, well, you don't have to be that good at numbers, like, can you just do basic arithmetic? Because sometimes we don't know what we don't know. But I think primarily at the firm level, there needs to be a really, really big push to market this opportunity, to market this career path to minorities.
The community has to do a better job of defining what wealth management is. We have to do a better job of explaining what it is that we do. The company has to go out to the schools and the institutions where people are graduating and go out and say, what do you think a financial planner is? What do you think they do? What is a stockbroker? And turn the narrative around to, they're just people with great personalities that people like to hang out with, but they solve problems. Can you articulate a problem? Can you solve it? Do you have the ability to go out and seek the correct source of information? Then you could do what we do. You don't have to be an excellent statistics and math. You just got to be reliable, trustworthy, but you have to be able to make a living at it. And I think therein lies the challenge. How do we do all those things? And that's what I think needs to be done more to support those that already are here and reach out to those that are not.
I think the biggest hurdle is people don't know the profession even exists. And I would say that we need to also redefine what the profession is. I don't see it as a profession of really, you don't need all the hard technical skills. And I love hard technical skills. I love the finance and and all that. But I think at the heart of the profession, it really is a relationship business. And, I think to be successful in the business, you need to understand that it's really relationships. People will come to you when they trust you. And we have the tools at our disposal to help them. But we just need to make sure that both our clients know what we do and who we are, but also folks that may be interested in the industry. I think we need to help them understand what we do, because I really don't think people know. And when I entered the industry, prior to entering the industry, I had no idea.